everybody. I'm hiding behind the chicken coop because I decided I wanted to try this YouTube thing and this video thing, and I want to show you my garden. Every week I want to do a walkthrough, but I'm so embarrassed. I don't want anyone to hear me. I'm gonna have to get over that, aren't I? Anyway, this is something new. Let's try it. Let's see what it's like. Let's see if you like it. And it's a new way to see the garden. It's really all about the garden. Let's go check it out. So let's start in the backyard because there's an awful lot going on in the front yard right now. So let's start in the back and see if it gets better by the time we move around. So this is the north garden. This is our back patio. We spend a lot of time out here. This is where the hops grew this summer and provided a bit of shade for us. And now I've got fava beans coming up in there. And so back here we have rain barrels and pollinator gardens, the chicken coop, a bunch of raised beds. So right now I'm kind of in transition between summer and winter. And so everything's a little bit in transition. I have some summer things like, say, tomatoes and peppers. And then I have some winter things like kale and carrots. So this is a real transition. I know in some parts of the country, they're already onto winter gardens or maybe even done for the year. But for us, it's still transition. So there are a couple things I wanted to show you out here. Excuse me. So the peppers are doing great. Still lots and lots of peppers, both sweet and hot. These are the hot peppers. Check it out. So there's a lot of hot peppers still. I don't want to pull these out yet. And there's a lot of sweet peppers too. Lots and lots of sweet peppers. So those will stay here for a while. But the tomatoes, gosh, I already pulled out my cherry tomatoes, but I have plum tomatoes and slicers. Now check this out. Some of these tomatoes look fine. Like here's a little guy looking beautiful. But then some of them look horrible. Look at this one. Look at all the splits and the cracks. And then where it splits, it rots. And I'm so bummed. I think it's all the rain that we've had. Now, I'm not going to say anything against rain, but I was hoping to let these tomatoes go until frost. And I just don't think I can. So I'm contemplating whether to tear these out and just put in some Brussels sprouts. See, look at that. I don't know. So tomatoes might not be long for the garden. And then here we have kale coming up. We always need a lot of kale. And then here's the pumpkin patch. So I already got lots of little pumpkins, but these are the big guys. And we'll have those in time for Thanksgiving. There's some potatoes coming up in that bed as well. And then there's carrots over there. They're really slow to germinate. Here's the chickens. Hi, you guys. Having a dust bath? So they're all doing fine. They're all happy. Already got the eggs. And there's one more thing I want to show you back here, and that's the olives. Look at this. Look how they're changing. Can you see how they're changing color? Aren't they beautiful? That's exciting. Okay, I'm going to pause here and then we'll go to a different section. Okay, we're in the back of the house now, and this is what we call the water feature garden because of the water feature. Forgive the hose. I've been having to fill it a lot lately. I think something must be wrong with the pump. So that reminds me to tell you that when I do these, I'm not going to do any kind of prettying up for you. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and you'll see it the way everything is. I'm not going to make it look super nice for you. I just want to show you what's really happening back here. So back here is the beehive, asparagus patch, beehive. It looks like maybe some bees are taking their first flight. So after bees hatch, they take a maiden voyage, sort of, a first flight. Let's see if I can get a good shot of this. So they're all just trying out their wings, seeing what it's like to fly, orienting themselves to the hive, figuring out where home is. It's really interesting to watch. So these are bees that have just hatched. Neat. Let's see what else is happening. And this is the south garden. Now here's where you can see how close together our houses are. We have about 7,000 square feet of space in our yard, which is big. But we're on a corner lot and our house is tiny. And all the houses here are pretty small. And it's really suburbia. So this is an urban garden or suburban garden. So let's see what I want to show you here. Here's Adam's train shed. And then if we walk over here, there's the pollinator garden. As you know, I try to keep flowers going every day during the year for the bees. So the sun's starting to go down, and that means the bees are going in for the night. But there's some beautiful things out here still. There's somebody feeding in the kufea. And then I have 2 beds of shelling peas here. They haven't even really started to grow, just a little bit. The strawberry wall, some herbs. And then this is the onion bed and the garlic bed, which has some potatoes coming in it. And I wanted to show you that I planted a cover crop here of crimson clover. So we'll see how that does. These are some snap peas coming up, so those are about ready to eat. I think maybe we could have some of those for dinner. This is mostly chard, but there's some beets and cabbage and broccoli in here. So this entire section is ready for winter, from peas to onions and garlic and greens and brassicas. This is all winterized. And then over here we have our herb bed. So artichokes, lavenders, herbs, the Asian pear tree, all kinds of different stuff in here. And then if you walk around to the front of our house, this is what we call our woodland garden. So what do I want to tell you about this area? A lot of these plants are native to this area, to this watershed. And it doesn't look fabulous right now because it's done with its summer bloom and I've cut everything back. You know, you need to cut back woody perennials so that they look their best the next year. But I planted a bunch of new stuff in here, so in the spring, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look really nice. This is dominated by this huge pepper tree. So a couple of projects for this week. I've just gotten a bunch of new plants from Annie's Annuals in Richmond, and I need to get those in the ground. And one other project is this delivery I got today. That's rock dust, and I'll be putting that in our raised beds. And then let me show you one other thing. These beauties. This is oak, some freshly sawn oak logs. I've ordered some mushroom spawn shiitake, and we're going to colonize these logs and see if we can grow some mushrooms. So that's our walkthrough for this week. Stay tuned. We'll do one each week and see how the garden changes.